Special Forces this season. And by the way, I just watched last season and my jaw was on the floor. I'm like, number one, this show is so good. For a second, it was a turnoff because I had never heard of Special Forces. And then it was like Special Forces, Tom Sandoval. And I was like, ugh, you know? I don't know about this. But then I watched the first season and was like, this is so good, and became obsessed. And you guys are what, 2-3 episodes into your season?
Tonight will be our 3rd episode.
Oh my God, I can't wait to watch. Okay, when this came to you, had you seen the show before? Did you know what you were getting into?
So they came to me about like a week and a half before we were supposed to leave for the show. And they're like, yeah, we want you to do this show. And I was into it. Like I just got done working on like a big project and I was beaten up. I was like, all right, this will be like a vacation for me. And because every time I get like these chances to go do like these shows, I'm like, this is fun. This is not work, you know? And so I was like, all right, I'm out. I'll go do this show. My agent was like, no, I don't think you should do it. It's a competition show. You don't want to be known for doing competition shows all the time. And I was like, all right, well, let me watch the show and let me get back to you. Watch the show. I was like, this is easy. I got this. Like, this is just Hollywood, foo-foo. This ain't gonna be that hard. Told my agent, like, we talked the next day. We kind of got a whole different opinion about the show after seeing it. Like, it's not a competition show. It's not that. It's a completely different genre. And so when I said yes, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be that hard either. Like, it's just foo-foo Hollywood, LA. Like, they just drive around in cars. They're not really running. They're not really actually doing hard stuff. I was fucking wrong. It's the hardest damn thing I've ever did. And I was a football guy. Like, I've done crazy training. I've, gone till I puked and they killed me and all these things. Nah, this was a whole nother level.
Wait. It's insane. I'm obsessed with this season, by the way. Absolutely obsessed. And I'm blown away by, like, JoJo C was on it, Savannah Chrisley, Des Bryant. I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, but I'm already shocked at who's gone home and who's stayed and who's, like, really done amazing at the challenges. Because you see a show like this, you watch season 1, and I'm like, oh, the strong men are going to come out on top. That's just how it's going to be. It's all about strength. But it's not.
It was the women who
Yeah.
powered through and dominated.
Well, let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, women push life out of their cookies.
Well,
all right? So
y'all have a mental engine that just doesn't stop.
Right.
course.
And this is a mental game from what I've seen. Like, there's some things that you got to go through, but like a lot of it is mental toughness and how like
It's
what you
95% mental.
Yeah, like
You would say
what
it's
you can
9
do to endure it. Yeah, mentally.
Because only reason why you want to quit at things, like because the physical stuff is hard, it's because your mind's quitting. But what the staff shows you and teaches you is there's so much more in the tank than you ever put out there. And like they've got like I can't wait for everyone to see next episode because they've gotten more out of me than I've ever gotten out of myself.
Really?
Yeah, but it's because there's mental limitations you put on yourself.
So you're talking episode 3. So by the time this airs, episode 3 will have come out, but obviously you can't spoil anything. But
Who's gone home so far?
Oh,
Black China or Angela?
Angela, Tara, and Des Bryant.
Tara Reid, Des Bryant, that's who I was shocked on. I guess we're spoiling. I was shocked. Des Bryant. Tara Reid, by the way, I don't know why I feel this way toward her. She seems like an angel of a human, and you helped her out, right? Like you carried her bag. How is she in real life? Is she a sweet angel?
She is sweet,
Okay.
and I feel like she's had just the hardest time, in Hollywood, and I feel like it's a machine. It chews you up, spits you out, and I feel like she's suffered through a lot of bullying, a lot of, it's hard. I think we've all been through these moments in the light where the people come after you.
Right.
And she's probably had it way more than a lot of us have.
And I saw a lot of things on socials that people were saying about Tara, and I'm like, how could someone like write this about another human being? So I'm sure you got to meet a lot of people on this show, and did you have any, like going into it where you're like, oh, this person I know is going to be this way. This person, I mean, Scandival was happening. You met him. I don't want to call him Scandival because he's not Scandival. Sandoval. I'm like getting all tongue tied. Did you know that existed? Were you balls deep in that before you got to know him?
Just a tip. I was not balls. I knew a little bit about it.
Did you get balls deep?
Everyone else around, I was kind of like association. I guess we were gangbanging Tom about it. You know what I mean?
Wait, did people have a lot of questions for him?
Yeah, like it was talked about a
Really?
ton. like just for instance, like they didn't show this part, but it was so funny. Like we are just getting on the vans to meet each other, and we're all doing intros of each other. And Tom goes, "I'm Tom Sandoval," and Jack Osborne goes, "Oh, it looks like we have a Scandoval." but like, then he goes, then Tom kind of like, she's like, "Yep, yeah, I was involved in a scandal," and then he did, but
Involved.
Jack,
You were the scandal. You weren't just involved, buddy.
Did Jack know?
But Jack didn't even know Sandoval was Scandoval. He just thought he just knew the word and then knew Tom Sandoval, but and like just said it to be funny, but never knew the correlation of the two.
That's hilarious. Jack Osborne is fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
by the way. So funny. Like, also killing it. Also killing it on the show.
He was like there was like two dads of the show, him and Bodie Miller, and those are the guys who like knew how to do survival stuff, knew how to make the fire. I was useless.
I don't know how to do anything.
So there's survival stuff coming up.
For sure.
Because we haven't, I mean, obviously it's all survival, but what we've seen so far is, I call it the cold plunge. It obviously was a lot worse than that. But you're a fit guy. Had you cold plunged before, so that challenge was like, eh?
No, I mean that challenge sucks no matter what.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
you could.
Do you have
You
to time-
could. I want you to go on Special Forces so bad because
You
I
could
think
do it.
you'd shock yourself.
They're gonna
could
do
do
it in
it.
Utah next year. They said too. It'd be great. Homecoming.
Oh, you could go home.
You
Are
go
you
to-
serious?
They're
No,
gonna
you're
hang- no.
lying. Okay.
Oh, home court advantage.
Home court advantage.
No, I think you'd surprise yourself. I think a lot of people on that show will end up surprising themselves.
Do you have to tie a lot of ropes on that or no?
What do you mean?
Like anything like rope tying?
There was this one course that we had to do, and I had to. It's a sled, and we had to tie all these things to the sled, and
Oh,
we
I'm
got
done.
to race other teams. And so I'm like, I hook my partner up to the sled. I'm tying everything up,
Yeah.
And as soon as we kick off, my knots come
me.
unfolded.
I'd
Shit
have just
goes
held 'em.
everywhere.
Do they teach you how
We
to
go
knot
right
it?
to last place, like by far. I'm like, and they're just ripping me apart.
When it comes to knots, I hand it off to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Wait, do they teach you how to tie a proper knot
No.
before?
No, you're
They
not-
don't teach you
should
shit.
know how to.
You
and
are,
that's the
yeah.
thing.
Being
You
a 30-year-old man, you should know how to tie a knot.
I
I
do.
think
Yeah.
I could tie a pretty solid knot, honestly.
You think that until you have
Until
to.
you got to wrap things around it, make things stick together.
Yeah.
What are we doing in life where we need to tie knots? Someone tells
You'd
me
be
to tie a knot.
surprised.
I'm doing a bow. And
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
got a friend who struggles with his shoelaces, and he's 38, so
You're right.
he can't double knot it.
He's
No.
got to sketch your
the
strap
bunny
ups.
ears, the
Yeah.
bunny ears can fuck you sometimes.
The bunnies can.
I'm fantastic at tying up a boat.
Oh, that's
I could-
good.
That's
Yeah.
good. You can hang in Jupiter then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I whip that thing around like nobody's business.
Mhm.
Is that the kind of knot you had to do?
No, I wish.
Yeah.
I wish I had
Could've
some
been
pleats to
fine.
tie to. I'd be all right. But that wasn't the case.
What is the hardest challenge you have done so far?
The hardest things we've done so far, episode 1 was the Trinasium.
Yeah.
That one I was the most scared of the whole time, and that's probably and I passed, but I was. I mean, you're 350 feet in the air, looking down over this river, walking on 2 metal bars, and I was so scared. Like you look down, you're disoriented. I was so scared, so I couldn't fail. Like fear was more of like was what made me pass it, and I blocked everything out, looked at like a little rock all the way across the mountain. And but I was shitting my pants.
Did you see it, La? It's It's
Just
horrifying.
talking about
know,
it,
I
it feels
guess-
like an elephant just sat on my chest.
I don't like
It's
heights.
I'm like, I
metal
could
bars.
not do that.
And then you get to the middle, and there's something you have to step over.
Yeah, step over a wooden plank, which like you don't look down. You can't see what you're stepping over.
Oh my
you know
God.
where to put your foot, so you're just guessing.
And staff are they? Because this is what I wanted to ask. They are obviously hard on you guys, but they also seem to be like guiding you and rooting for you. Are they looking at you in that challenge and being like, "You got this. Come on." I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, no, they're dissecting us every second of the way. Like
Okay.
they're analyzing us. They talk about us. You know, they have a debrief that they do afterwards, and they just go through each person for about 30 minutes about the whole day,
Wow.
what they got to attack on this person, because they're trying to find our weaknesses. They're trying to exploit them, and they're trying to make us better for them.
Make you okay.
And
yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, they're ripping us.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you'll get a little taste of a human out of them.
That's what I see. That's what,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Great job" or something. And I'm like, "Oh, staff," because they're
Mhm.
all like ex-Marines, ex whatever.
And like I think one of the big driving forces for me was earning their respect.
Mm.
You know, I wanted to have their respect by the end of all this.
Did you earn it? You're not allowed to. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
No, I'm very excited. I have to ask you, do you believe in a higher power, like God, universe, whatever it may
Definitely.
be? So when you're doing this, did you ever punt it off? Because I know you said it was more than just a competition. This was like to build you, build more character, see what strength you didn't know existed. Was there a time throughout this process where you were like, I have to hand it over? Because you're a fucking athlete, right? Where you had to punt it to a higher power to be like, I literally cannot do this. And something else needs to take over.
I think I'm crazy and stupid enough to think I can do anything.
Okay.
You know? But there was moments in time where I'm in it and I'm just, I'm struggling and you just got to figure out like your why and what's your reason for it, and I think for me, a lot of my reasons why was, as I felt like since football, since coming into a little bit of fame, like I lost my edge a little bit. I lost what made me who I was. And because I got comfortable, it's easy to get comfortable. And I wanted to find that dog again. And so, I mean, I was pushing myself to the brink, like over and over and over again. And I do remember this, though. I was like, because there's like two ways to go out. You get hurt or you quit. And I was like running full speed down this mountain. I was like, I would not mind tripping and like breaking my collarbone right now. Like if my leg snaps, like, ooh,
Oh my God.
But like, like that's how brutal it was.
Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the Give Them Lala podcast. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and I will catch you next week.